Music is a vehicle that allows you to express yourself in a more complex way when you might not know how to otherwise.
Watch the baton, it's like a sheep. It jumps the fence and goes to sleep.
Queer Rock Camp is so important because it gives a voice, and a very loud voice at that, to a population that right now has no voice.
When I first started playing music in a band and realizing I was queer, it was one of the first times I was able to feel like I could express myself honestly, and it was a huge step in the process of me learning to love myself better.
After being involved in the Girls Rock Camp programs for the past 5 years now, I felt very strongly about opening up the opportunities that happen from that program, opening that up to queer youth.
I feel like a lot of like queer culture and even like punk culture and music culture is 21 plus, and it's super ageist in that. And so I feel like right at that age there's sometimes a cutoff, or there's often a cutoff between an older community and a younger community. And I think that generational gaps in queer communities, in my experience, have been super sharp and in a lot of ways devastating. Not knowing history and also not knowing more current stuff, you know what I mean? Because I think older people like me, I think I have a lot to learn from younger people, you know? And this would be a great way for both groups to connect with hopefully understandings of power dynamics that make those interactions really positive for both groups of people.
Growing up, I feel like I had these like musical idols who oftentimes were male, and a lot of the reason that I could relate to them as a woman was that they were singing songs about women, about how they felt about women, and that made sense to me. And it was confusing and made me sometimes, like, you know, feel really sad or disappointed, or, you know, that I didn't have someone whose sexuality looked like mine to be inspired by.
You could hit anywhere, it did take everything from your love to nothing. My arms were the sticks that you held up to hit the back of my head when I wasn't looking. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
My most prominent memory, and which could be my first of identifying as queer in the musical setting, was going to shows as a high schooler in Seattle, going to like See the Need or Sleater Kinney or bands like that that were singing about being gay or queer and talking about it, and were visibly gay and queer, and, you know, feeling my sort of experience as, like, you know, a queer kid, queer high schooler, being somewhat represented by the bands that I was seeing play.
Actually, playing shows is kind of one of the first, actually, since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to, like, drag all the time, but, like, in my, like, more grown-up life, like, more recently, the past few years, performing has been, like, probably absolutely my biggest outlet for, like, just, like, wearing drag, and, like, wearing makeup and wearing dresses, and, like, just like being femme. Like I've been most comfortable kind of getting femme-y like for shows. So that's been like a really powerful experience for me too.
So I got into Riot Grrrl specifically because my cousin came to town, and she's like a cousin like 3 times removed, and she's the first person to tell me, she was the first person to tell me that it's not okay to say gay as an insult. And she left me with a list of Riot Grrrl bands with like, they were all different, you know, categories of Riot Grrrl that she had broken down, and I think it was on a pink piece of paper or something, and I was just like, what the heck, you know what I mean? And it like blew my world up.
I think I was able to be openly queer in high school and in an openly queer band in high school because the music scene supported that. And I grew up in a suburb of Seattle where there was like a teen center that was really like women friendly and queer friendly, and some of my like mentors, like the older women that I knew who also played music, were openly queer, and so I think that also helped me feel comfortable.
I think Queer Rock Camp is incredibly important because it will hopefully give young people a space to feel more safe about learning how to play music, learning how to do something that is in the beginning and still is sometimes incredibly intimidating.
We are starting Queer Rock Camp here at Olympia with the goal of empowering queer youth, giving them a voice, applauding that voice, showing them that they are heard, that they have a supportive community, fostering peer relationships between queer youth, hopefully around the nation. We're hoping to get campers from all over the United States here to really like plug into a microphone, into some amplifiers, and say whatever they want, say what's on their mind.
To my door, you know I'm not yours anymore, cause my heart sounds a baby, like the snare that's gone and the deep sound goes. You know I have to go when you have no love to show, and my heart pounds a baby, but the snare is down and the deep sound goes.